Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, Invincible Iron Man issue number 10. All right, so she takes over the country. No joke. She's actually the sovereign ruler of the country. S.H.I.E.L.D. comes in, they do a landing, they walk in, and people are calling her queen. She's saying, okay, get some food, and the Doombots are handing her food. She's like, no, not for me, for the kids. Feed the kids. That's just way too funny, man. That's hysterical. At one point, we see how angry Sharon Carter is at this, and yeah, you'd expect she's going to be angry because she's kind of got a stick up her butt. In the meantime, she's infuriated right now, and she's not understanding. She's like, this is Latveria. They're evil. This is a sovereign country. You took it over. Oh my God, where's Lucia von Bardus? And there's just a lot going on. Eventually, she gives her Lucia, and Lucia's like, I'm going to get you. You're profiting off of. No, we're not actually profiting that much. Oh man, all sorts of crazy things. It's wild, dude. When I was in Saudi Arabia, there were actually people who thought that we were stealing oil from not from Vietnam, we were stealing coffee from there. Joke. But they actually thought that we were stealing oil from Iraq. And it's like, dude, we didn't steal oil from Iraq after the war, if you even want to call that 6-day, advertisement back in 1990 a war. Like, we didn't steal any of the oil. Like, are you sure? Like, brother, let me ask you a question. Did anybody get any pictures of the giant steam tankers coming over and sucking up oil from the ground and bringing them back to the United States? Because it's kind of hard to, like how are they bringing the oil? Were the soldiers emptying canteens and filling their canteens with oil, and they're sneaking them back that way, one quart at a time? I mean, come on. So no, we did not steal any oil over there. All that stuff, it's all rumors, okay? That's bull. It didn't happen. In fact, the latest, event is, if I were in charge, we would have taken their oil. Well, I'm glad that nobody else was in charge because it was bad enough as it was. Anyway, so yeah, she's just trying to do a good job. It's funny. At one point, Daisy Johnson comes over and knocks on Riri's mom's door, and Riri. Her mom is in the bathroom singing Mary J. Blige. Oh, that's right, Marvel. You think I didn't know that song? Because I do. Anyway, she's sitting in the bathtub singing, and all she comes to in the bathroom to the door, and she's like, okay, listen, did you know this was going to happen? No, I didn't. Are you sure? This is not the kind of thing we talk about. Okay, well, just out of curiosity, are you planning on surrendering your home to make it into an embassy for the UN for Latveria? She's like, I think I'm going to need to talk to my lawyer, which is probably the best answer you could have possibly given. Oh my God. Like this issue was hysterical. I'm rolling at so many things, but at the same time, a lot of this is real. A lot of this stuff, like, it's coming off as very real. Now, I love that earlier they had Brian Michael Bendis established that Riri Williams is capable of watching two different news stations at the same time. So she's watching, like, let's say, I think they mentioned MSNBC at one point, and I know they mentioned Fox News for the other one. This was several issues ago. And she's watching them both at the same time, and not only understanding them both, but also understanding without actually taking one side or the other. Now, it's kind of hard to do with Fox News. There are plenty of other conservative sources out there that are not going to be so ridiculously biased that they're astronomically nonsensical. No, there are plenty of other conservative sources, because I do the same thing myself. I'll go all over the internet, and I will several different newspapers, and I will actually check out the news, and I'll try and see what actually happened and get different opinions, different viewpoints, and try and censor out the baloney that you're inevitably going to get once in a while. Anyway, so she comes to the conclusion that Latveria just wants to be a sovereign nation. They want a presidency, the kids need schools, and all the basic things that you would think to do to help people out. I know there are a lot of people who don't like Riri. Whatever. You know what? This issue isn't even about Riri. It kind of is, because you get the warm feeling that they're making Riri this not just humanitarian, but this actually intelligent person who doesn't have all these prejudices about her, like, case in point, Sharon Carter. Sharon Carter's thinking, no, this is a dangerous nation. No, shut up. No, General Carrot Dick. I used to call him General Carrot Dick. The T isn't actually supposed to be there, but I pronounce it hard. Carrot Dick. But now it's a shame, because I kind of feel like, what did I know? Because I know over in the other Iron Man comic, the infamous Iron Man comic, Dr. Doom had went there and talked to Carrot Dick himself, and he's like, you were supposed to turn this over to this person and make things better. So I imagine that person, I can't remember her name at this point. This was very early in the comics. And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. But it's like, it's not fair. You left, and they felt abandoned. And of course they felt abandoned. And they're actually explaining. Cara Dick is actually explaining, I felt abandoned. We felt like, nobody cared. Dr. Doom he up and left. And we know the reasons why he did it. We get it. But the idea is that, they were just left. So they're all just trying to do the best they can. And you get a bunch of people who are like, but I love my country. And everybody loves their country. You know what I'm saying? People love their countries the way they love their sports teams sometimes. But this was really good in and of itself. I mean, they're trying to point out that you don't have to just hate your enemy. I know it sounds so good to just hate your enemy, hate them, hate them, hate them. There's some people you can't possibly work with. No, that's a lie. 6 years in the Army, guys. I know firsthand not firsthand from World War II, but I know firsthand several people who fought in World War II. Most of them are dead now. But I've met them, talked with them, broke bread with them. They're amazing people, and listening to some of their amazing stories. And I'm telling you right now, the fight against the Japanese was like the most ruthless battles you could possibly imagine. They were terrible. They described them as like actually having fangs. That's the reason why back in the Captain America comics, they used to, and that's what it was called at the time, Captain America comics, before the Captain America issues came out. Anyway, it's a reason why they used to say, oh yeah, they've got fangs and things like that, because that's the way they were actually described by the soldiers at the time. They were ruthless and terrible. You don't need to watch a movie to understand that stuff. Actually talk to some of the vets or the survivors. Amazing, frightening, scary stuff. But when you think about it, two of our greatest allies, I'm American in Canada, but two of our greatest allies are in fact Japan and Germany. How did that happen? Because unlike so many other, and you think about like the Treaty of Versailles and things like that, no, you actually look at what we did. Instead of bombing them and destroying them and, punishing them further and further and further after the fact and whatnot and blaming them, the whole blame game. No, instead, what did we do? We rebuilt them. We helped them out. We gave them an industry. They became some of our greatest trade partners, and we've profited so much from those trades. And we've got incredible friends now all over because of that. We've shown ourselves to be beneficent, and we've benefited from it so much. Imagine that. Instead of just destroying people or taking their lands, look what we did. And that's what Riri's doing here. I know this has kind of come and turned into like a preachy session, and I apologize for that. But the fact of the matter is, I know there are going to be a bunch of people who probably won't even listen to what I'm saying. They're simply going to look at this and say, oh, he's saying good things about Riri Williams. Dislike, dislike, dislike. First off, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you very much, because for the most part, I'm a very small channel, all intents and purposes. And if I'm getting all these hits, people just showing up and then showing activity on my channel, because guess what? Dislikes are registered the exact same way as likes on YouTube. You don't believe me? Go and check the algorithm, because it's true. So I want to say thank you very heartedly from my soul for the extra activity you're giving me on my channel. Likes, dislikes, for me, it's all the same. So again, thank you. But the idea is that for those who are actually listening, we have benefited more from helping than we have from destroying. And that's just, it's a fact. It's something that is irrefutable. I don't care about your opinions. They are pointless. They are useless in the face of these incredible facts that are just slapping you around and saying, look at our friends who were our greatest enemies. It works. It works. And I love that they've got Riri doing basically this exact same thing. To me, this is beautiful. I'm giving this comic an A-. I genuinely enjoyed that. First off, this was a very fun comic. But on top of that, they did the incredible, and they showed that she has a heart. Riri Williams has an iron heart, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Guys, that's it for me, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.